Evan, you can hear us, right? We're good? All right, we're good.
Evan, talk real quick.
Walk in.
Start from the top. All right, so welcome to the first podcast for Central Florida Powerlifting Workshop. So for this first one, I just wanted to kind of introduce ourselves, go over what made us get into this, and just talk about a couple of things powerlifting related. So we'll go around and introduce ourselves, starting with Evan. Evan Wimbish, go ahead.
Yo, so my name is Evan Wimbish. I've been coaching since 2017, 2018 timeline. What originally got me into powerlifting was one, just like I love lifting, but a friend pushed me to doing it through college. Basically, I already loved lifting, right? So he kind of was like, yeah, why not try powerlifting? I didn't get to start until after college. I did sports in college. So like I ran track and I cheered in college. So my coach was like, no, you can't powerlift. Like it's just going to take too much time, which objectively would have. But after I graduated, I started and then I did my first meets that year. And then that same year, I coached my first client to their first meets. And then ever since then, I've just been coaching.
Fire. Solid, man. So how long have you been a coach for overall?
I mean, if we're only counting powerlifting, how long has it been? Since 20, like I said, since 20, like late 2017, 2018. But I coached, I was a weightlifting coach up before that or alongside of that, strength coach in a high school. And then I was also a tumble coach for a total of a decade. I retired back in 2023 from tumble coaching.
Yeah, it's awesome, man. It's been a minute. Yeah. So let's go around to Peter. Go ahead.
Damn, that was a jump. I thought he would have went, but
Nah, you got it.
Really quick, my name is Peter Perez. I've been coaching now roughly about the same timeline as Evan. I had a client, funny enough, shout out to her, man. She was my first powerlifting client, Macarena. So she started, that was my first powerlifting client. So I started powerlifting from a friend named Yusuf, rest in peace. We were at the gym one day and we worked front desk at an LA Fitness. And he was like, oh, I powerlift. I was like, the hell is that? And he was like, I squat, bench, and deadlift. I was like, bro, I do that already. Like, so what's up? So from that point, I literally looked into a few things. Like I was a huge fan of like Elliot Hulse at the time. So I looked up just like strength training and came up with a workout program within a week or so of us having that initial conversation. And that had to be about 2015. And then 2016 is when I actually competed. And then I kind of jumped around a little bit. Not too long after that, one of my clients, Macarena, who when I was doing personal training, she was like, oh, I'm really interested in the powerlifting. And that's when powerlifting started. So I would say I started getting a decent roster around like 2018, 2019-ish though. So, yeah.
Nice. I honestly didn't know about the LA host thing. I started watching LA host.
That was my guy, bro.
A while back too. Like
that was my guy.
Was it Garage Strength? Not Garage
Yeah,
Strength.
no, he lost his mind, but
yeah, I was
it is
just
what
about
it
to say that.
Yeah.
All right, Evan, you wanna go ahead.
All right, my name is Evan Hawk. I'm 23 years old. I'm from this area, and I've been powerlifting myself since about 2019. Probably started competing around like mid 2020. I lifted through high school, mostly just to get good at sports, just for like wrestling, other things. And then they had like the high school weightlifting thing where it was like bench and clean and jerk. And I got introduced to powerlifting through like some friends I made during that, and then informally to like coaching through that, because it was like we would only get a program like during the season, and then it was like, what are we gonna do the rest of the year, kind of thing. So I ended up pretty much writing programs for like my friends the second I started lifting, even though I like really had no clue what I was doing.
Yeah.
But I informally got introduced to coaching essentially right then in like 2019, 2020, and then kind of continued on with that as I got through college and like the FSU powerlifting team up until I can't remember if it was sophomore or junior year. I started actually coaching the whole team, and then kind of went from there up to the point now where I've coached a few national champions. I want to say 4 or 5, and 2 IPF world champions, and kind of yeah, and really started getting like fully committing to it like later on into college.
Nice.
Within the last that was probably like 3-4 years ago at
Yeah,
this
it's
point.
building out that roster.
Yeah.
Going crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah.
No, solid, man. So, my name is Reggie. I've been coaching roughly the same timeline. So around 2017ish, I started because I was trying to find something to do outside of football. I had no idea what else to do, so I just started lifting weights, and I found online something about powerlifting. So I just started to compete. I just went to the first meet I found, which was like in Gulf Breeze. Like I didn't realize it was far away because there was
That's
no meets
crazy.
around. Yeah, it was like it was a 7-hour drive in a different time zone, Florida.
Oh,
I had
wow.
no idea. So I went out there just to compete, and I just kind of fell in love with it. I just needed something to do outside of like sports again. I started coaching as I started personal training at the gym I was working out at, and one of my clients found out I competed, and she was like, "Hey, I wanted to try this too." So I started coaching her through a competition, and more people at the gym found out that I competed. She did well, and one thing led to another, and just started coaching a lot more people and got really involved into coaching and training, and I just enjoy all aspects of like learning about the body and how to get better and developing people. So that's how I kind of fell into it.
Word.
Yeah. So I think we all kind of have a similar timeline, even though Evan's still like the youngest one here.
He's
I
still
feel
not even
like,
far off.
Yeah.
In the
Yeah.
timeline, it's
Yeah,
not
it's
far off at
like
all.
a year later.
Yeah.
I was just like 16, 17
Mhm.
years old when I really got into everything, which
Yeah.
is, nowadays looking at things, that's not even that early compared to
No.
Not at all.
now.
not
There's
at all.
like 14-year-olds getting into this, and I was
Yeah.
like, I didn't even know what it was till
Yeah.
someone showed me a Russell Orhe YouTube video.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the
That's where it
cool thing, though. I
started.
think we were talking about like the knowledge base now.
Yeah.
And I think when I first started this, it was like you said, Elliot Host. I was looking at YouTube videos. Alan Thrall was a big name, and
Yep.
I would
Al
read
Thrall.
books.
Candido. Still very
Candido,
early on. Yeah.
like
Candido,
Juggernaut
yes.
training systems.
Okay. I was trying to make sure I heard him.
Yeah. So all of that, but now I think there's just so much more information out there.
So
Right.
much.
So that being said, what made you guys want to do something like this? Like what got you guys involved? Because I remember talking to Peter and I was like, I just don't want to feel like I'm dragging people along because I'm like, I just like talking to people and educating people and like getting involved into some of these conversations. But everyone just kind of seemed about it. So
Yeah.
I want to get into the reasoning as why with you guys. We'll start off.
Go.
I'll go first.
Yeah.
I honestly think it's just like I feel like people would get more out of like in terms of just talking about straight like content that you see regarding powerlifting. I feel like a lot of people get more out of like this type of like bouncing ideas off each other type of conversation than it would be like say I were to get in front of a camera and just start talking about something.
Yeah.
Like we have that like straight like information dump type of content out there. Like there's so many things like y'all were just naming a million names. Those have been around for like ever, but at least like in terms of just general discussion that can get a little bit more like niche into things and a little bit more specific in scenarios. I feel like that's hard to get it without like multiple people and
Yeah,
things
multiple
like that.
brains.
And there's really not that much of that. Like I know obviously there's like the powerlifting now guys, but it's like name another like type of thing like that really.
Yeah.
Not very much.
Almost. Yeah. Because you'll find a few others like obviously like Stacked Cast.
Yeah.
Who else? Devin was just on it with those two
Mhm.
other guys. I forgot his name. I think his name is like Cool Lifting Stuff or something.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So like him, he does a podcast with I don't know the other dude's name. I apologize. But those are a few off the top of my head.
Yeah, there's just a handful.
Yeah.
And
a
it's also
handful at
like
most.
one of those things where at least like obviously it's based around Central Florida. And
Yeah.
it's like you have, I'm from Central Florida, but I live in North Carolina. Evan Wimbish lives in North Carolina. But it's like, at least for the people around here, it's like most of the people that are going to be watching are going to be, seeing the people in their general
Yeah.
area talking about those
Yeah.
kind of things rather than, people everywhere else. Just brings it something more to like this area, I guess.
Yeah, for sure. How about you guys? Have any other reasons?
I would say for me specifically, I like giving back. I like being able to kind of speak my mind on certain things, like especially anything that pertains to either experiences or purely just programming, like
Yeah.
I guess you could say like nerd stuff like that. I'm really into. So my ability to kind of talk on that, I just wanted to kind of share that as best as I could because I feel like I can do it well, but also very layman.
Mhm.
So yeah, that's why I wanted to do this.
Nice.
Yeah.
Black Evan.
Two answers, obviously, kind of in line with Peter's. I just feel like I think a lot about things and I don't really get the opportunity to speak around or to other coaches. So that was definitely an opportunity to like just break bread with the other coaches and just like spread good information, bounce ideas off of each other. But I will say also selfishly because it makes me a better coach. And maybe for the same thing for y'all, it's like I can learn things from you as well as you all can learn from me. So kind of like a iron sharpens iron situation. So selfishly, because I can learn something.
Yeah, I definitely agree with especially the last part. And it's not even like just hearing ideas from each other and learning from it. It's like a lot of times you won't even like, I guess, think about how to word something or like
Yeah.
how to articulate something.
Yeah.
Like it's like you'll know something already,
Yeah.
but then it's like, oh, now you gotta lay it out in an understandable manner, and that'll make you understand it better yourself. Kind of
Yeah,
thing.
absolutely.
So
Yeah.
it's like even from like just the things I already know, just kind of figuring out how to explain it, or at least make it
Yeah.
understandable, makes you kind of grasp it better, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
That's
a
why I
perfect
like these.
point.
That's how I like these conversations
That's a
for that
perfect
reason.
point. The thing that made me think about that specifically is almost like when it comes to when you are writing a program, the decisions you make as to why or why don't you do something, all of that is almost like instantaneous. Like you think about
Yep.
all of those outcomes in a moment, you're like, okay, this is going to be the best option, right? And I
Yeah.
realized that specifically when I was making that flow chart. Remember the one that I
Mhm.
showed you guys?
Yep.
When I wrote that, I was like, oh, I'm thinking about everything that can go wrong in these situations and why you take like this turn versus this one, like why a yes or no here.
Yeah.
And again, like when you're writing a program, no one's going to see that process. So like to be able to kind of explain some of that is cool.
Yeah. No, I mean I agree. I think kind of like what you're all getting at too is just like the nerd side of it too.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
how often are we gonna be able to have these conversations with other people where like you can just kind of nerd out and
Yeah.
someone else is like, yeah, that's dope. you
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
versus
Objectively,
talking to your clients like, bro, just bench. you
Yeah.
know?
I say
It's
my
all
story.
like the go ahead.
I was going to say my clients never want to hear like my long explanations about anything.
Yeah.
They're just like, how do I fix it? And it's like, okay, this is what you do. And then the conversation's gone. Like, I think that being able to speak to other coaches is like, you also get to learn how to like any other type of route that you could take as an alternative as well. And I think that's the good thing about like having that nerdy conversation is just like, here's what I did. And they're just like, oh, this is good, but you could also consider this. You could also consider this. Or if this scenario came up, or even learning from, like we said, the niche scenarios that each one of you has also gone through or that I've gone through before it even happens to one of us. I think that's just a really good thing about like being able to have the nerdy conversations.
Yeah, I 100% agree. And I think kind of like you were saying, Evan, is that we have an opportunity to actually see people because I think with like coaching, it's gotten so much more popular and powerlifting has gotten so much more popular. There's a lot of information out there. And I don't know about you guys, but I mean, I'll ask, did you guys learn how to squat, bench, and deadlift through a video or did you learn through someone in person?
I would say for myself, like the one video that I go back to is Candido's, if I'm
Yeah.
being honest, for squatting, like
Yeah.
how to squat. But I've seen a bunch of squat, bench, deadlift videos,
Yep.
like, so I would say a lot of it was just pure trial and error
Yeah.
Yep.
and videos.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Because like
I
honestly,
think that's common for kind of all of us, right?
yeah.
yeah, I'll say the weird part about it. I don't know if this was also your experience, but like when coming to terms with like technique, when I started, a lot of the information was also gate kept.
Yeah.
Like I don't know if you
Yes,
remember
yes,
that.
yes.
Like a lot of the programs were gate kept. A lot of the technical things were gate. So it was like a couple of people, like the Alan Thrall, the Candido. I learned from fucking Clarence Kennedy. I don't know if any of y'all know who
Facts.
that.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
one of them ones.
Yeah. So like I started squatting because of Clarence Kennedy, and my stupid self ran small off for squats because like
That's wild.
Hell
That's
yeah.
actually insane,
Yeah,
bro.
because who's
Honestly,
gonna
the
tell
fact
me
that you're
otherwise?
beltless too kind of makes sense.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
that does
I
make
was
sense.
Like I ran that
Actually,
on bench in
Yeah.
high school.
what was that?
I ran that on bench in high school.
Smolov Jr.
Yes.
or like
Yeah,
Smolov?
junior.
Okay,
Okay.
But I did run that on bench in high school.
bro.
feel
I did Smolov Jr. and like my pec was almost out within a week. I was like, I'm not doing this
Yeah,
again.
but
bro.
I was still like that with bench even in high
Oh, that's
school. So I
fire,
just was
though.
kind of fine. It worked. That would probably
Yeah.
work now.
Yeah,
Still.
It
it's
worked.
all stuff that's like Russian text before.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
just like, oh yeah, I'm gonna try to figure
Russian
this out.
text.
Listen,
like
bro, I ran it then and I somehow survived. I would die doing it now, 100%.
No, I think like everyone kind of has a story of that. It's like that was stupid.
Yeah.
No one should ever do this. But I got strong.
It worked.
It
It
worked
got
for
me my
some
first
reason.
500 squat. I remember it
Yeah.
vividly. It got me my first 500
That's
squat,
fire.
and
I mean,
I
the-
suffered for the next like 2 months.
A little bit different experience because I was essentially like not thrown into coaching, but I basically was just in a super informal standpoint. Basically, the second I started, like when I knew nothing. So
Yeah.
it's like when I was trying to figure out how to squat myself, I was also trying to explain to
Learn it.
Jordan,
Yeah.
like kind of thing, like the same type of stuff. Which means I did a lot of stupid stuff.
I mean, it's just a lot of learning on the fly.
Yeah, like a lot of that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't know if I had very many like things I could think of that I was really because I wasn't really going out of my way to learn stuff. I just was like, let me just see what this does. Like I was literally like,
I mean, that's a lot of
yeah,
it.
and
though.
I'm not-
I mean,
Facts,
eventually
facts.
you'll get it.
Yeah.
Like even if you are learning stuff, eventually,
Yeah.
like that's where you got to really learn. But
Exactly.
Yeah,
I think I mentioned that on like a video that I made. I don't like how sometimes coaches will be like, "Oh no, I knew this was the answer."
Yeah.
Bro, you had to try, bro.
It's like, yeah,
Stop
I
it. I
didn't
hate when
know.
people are just like, you had to try, even if it isn't this person, you had to try at some point.
yes.
You know what I mean? You had to just kind of wing something and be like, I hope this works. We'll see
Yeah.
what
Yeah.
happens.
Yeah, I'm
I
just
think
gonna
a
put
lot
this
of it's
together.
I mean,
bunch of educated guessing. Like that's I hate to dumb it down so poorly, but I'm like I feel like a lot of coaching is just educated guessing.
Facts.
I mean, yeah, of
Yes,
course. And
absolutely.
it's like you have the previous situations and previous,
Yeah.
similar experiences you try to connect things to.
Yeah,
It's
but I'm
like
sure-
nothing is an original. Nothing's purely an original thought.
Yeah.
Almost
No,
anything.
for sure.
Yeah, because
It's either
I
something you
guarantee
heard from
you
someone or
everyone's written something where they're just like, I don't know if this is gonna work.
Yep.
Yep.
yeah,
That's
exactly. It has to be that way.
It is.
Yeah. Like I always think like coaching is half art, half science.
Yes.
Right. There's enough stuff that we know to a degree. It's like, okay, this is like how things should work. This is how the body moves. This is how programming works. And then some of it is like, I mean, maybe. You know?
Yeah.
Like,
Just
let's
might
It's
see
work.
also,
what's
it's
up.
also like half the time, like shit that works on paper don't actually work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or like something that makes sense in like on paper isn't gonna play out as well in practice. Like sometimes there's things that are opposite of what you've seen.
Yeah.
Like you could have someone the same like demographic, like same size, weight, similar leverage, everything, a complete opposite response
sure.
to the same stimulus. Like
Sure.
it,
Yeah, 100%.
I think to your point of training Jordan, like a big part of like my development, for example, is being hyper focused of like I'm not confident enough in this, so I'm gonna look at every single angle
Mhm.
of what could possibly go wrong because I don't feel confident in this just yet, right?
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna try to figure out, make sure I'm crossing all my T's and dotting every
Mhm.
single I because like I don't know the answers per se.
Yeah.
I came from like an engineering background initially before I got into
Really?
like yeah.
That's fire.
I was going to
That's
school
fine.
for engineering when I was doing personal training on the side, and I just like I got decent at this, and I built a career after this, and like I'm just gonna do this.
Yeah, that's
Reggie,
fire though.
Engineering
you-
was it initially.
Reggie, you might be one of the most interesting niggas I've ever encountered.
Bro, dead ass, bro. No,
Bro,
you
man,
missed
be
that
casually
call, bro.
dropping shit.
You missed that call. That was one of the craziest calls we've ever had.
all right, okay, summarize.
Oh yeah, so bro, so this was when I was in Houston,
Just mad.
right? And
was I
no,
What was I doing?
I don't know.
I don't know.
That was
That was
the
the
when I was
21st. That was the
Was that when I was at Nationals? No.
No, 'cause that
thi-
was-
this was just the day you didn't
that
show
was
up.
2 weeks before that.
Yeah,
So this
think you were
I
driving
don't know
somewhere.
what you were
I was
doing.
doing something. I don't
Yeah.
remember.
It was like March 22nd is when we actually did the call.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so I don't know what y'all were
I
up to
remember
or
what I
anything
was
like that. But essentially, like Reggie told us like his backstory. Like, bro, this is crazy lore, bro. I felt like I was in an anime, and I was
Yeah.
like, where me and Evan just started laughing. Like me and Evan just started laughing, and I was like, bro, I'm sorry, like, because Matt Nichols was in there. I was like, this is probably the blackest thing we could have done, like for you to just laugh at you after you explain everything that you just said. You're gonna have to tell that,
I'm
bro.
about to say,
I
Reggie's
can't.
like, I'm about to say,
please
he's like, yeah, I was in
summarize.
a
Yeah,
coma,
give him a
I died
synopsis of that.
basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, so when I was younger, I fell into a coma. So I was out for a couple of days. I died for a little bit. I had a very bad asthma attack, and I went to the hospital.
Stop laughing, bro. Stop laughing.
So
I
yeah,
can't.
because Matt was asking me why do I like doing this, and I was
Mhm.
explaining like when I was growing up, I had to kind of force myself to like get stronger. I snuck onto the football team because my mom wouldn't let me play sports after that because she was like, "Hey, you died. Like that's
Yeah.
not happening," you know. So I snuck into a football team, and my mom had to pick me up one day. I was like, "Hey, mom, I'm on the football team," you know. And I just kind of fell in love with the process of like getting stronger and like becoming a better person because that helped me, right? So that's kind of why I do coaching because I know there's some people that deal with things. Maybe it's not like asthma or whatever it is, but they don't feel strong and confident within themselves, and that's something that like affected me a lot. So that's essentially that
You see what I'm
conversation.
saying?
That is an anime ass
Like,
backstory.
you know what I'm saying?
Exactly. And then now we find out he was an engineer. Like,
Yeah, dude, engineering. Like, what's going on, bro?
Secret.
like
hidden
what else
life.
are you
Yeah,
not
for
telling
real.
us?
So yeah, like that's just kind of how my brain has always worked, though.
That's fair.
So
Like
like just,
mechanically
like,
almost?
figure things out. Yeah,
feel
exactly. So like I like structure. I like putting things together. I like creating and building stuff. So I really enjoy the aspect of programming, and I just dove really deep into that. And I like how a big part of engineering that I liked is that even if the answer was you can't find it, there's always an answer. Like with
Mhm.
math, that's what I like about math, right? Like English and all the other subjects is like, bro, I don't know.
Yeah.
But with math, I'm like, I can find the answer. There's a bunch of different equations, but there's a way to find it.
Yeah.
So that's a piece of powerlifting that I kind of dove into. It's like, I don't know what it is yet, but I know
I can
I
figure
can
it out.
figure it out.
Mhm.
So yeah, what was that?
Fire. I like that a lot.
Let's see.
So-
Just be dropping lore.
Yeah, consistent lore,
Let's
bro.
pieces at a time. I try not to get too much at once. All right. So the next question I had for y'all is, then we dove into this a little bit, but what do you think is missing in the powerlifting space?
Yeah, we spoke about it briefly, like before we got on here, and it's hard to even say what is missing because, like, if we were to be like kind of looking at it from when we had all started, we could definitely say, as of right now, there's so much content.
Yeah.
Like, I can't scroll now throughout my day without seeing 4 to 5 reels, like
Yeah.
within the span of like an hour or two.
Yeah, that's very
You
true.
know what I mean? So, and that's just that. Like, that's excluding strength now. That's excluding powerlifting now.
Mhm.
That's excluding some of the other handful of podcasts that we mentioned. So it's hard for me to really say. Yeah. What would y'all say?
I'm trying to think.
I would say I'm hesitant to say this to an extent, right? But like some more like I guess regulation in a sense because there's just
Okay.
bullshit out there. Also,
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
it's just
yeah.
like- But it's not like you could stop that though.
In terms
You're
of
always
like
gonna have,
content, like, are you saying like the short form content or?
yeah, I'm saying like
Yeah,
I think
like
just
bad information.
yeah,
or
just like really poor stuff because there's stuff that's just like yeah, it's just
It's just, I think it's just because the like you got to think about like the barrier of entry compared
Yeah,
to like when we
yeah,
first start. It's
absolutely.
like not even in terms of coaching, just in terms of like content. Like
yeah.
people are posting on like YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Just the like that's a lot harder than making an Instagram reel.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like everybody that's like maybe doesn't have as much time and things
Yeah.
and everything like that. It's just they're able to throw together a reel real fast. But I don't know. I feel like that's also just like a evolution of the sport. But I also feel like it's not too bad to where it's like you know what I mean? Like the people that are like really putting out like the like good information, things like that, like they're getting recognized. for it.
Yeah.
It's like
Absolutely.
whether it be like by their peers, like other coaches, things like
Yeah.
that. Like I'd say that things are pretty good. Like I don't want to say filtering out the like the bullshit, but like for the
The
most
cream
part in
rises to the
terms of like
top.
success, like
Yeah.
the you know the good like quality stuff is kind
Yeah.
of rising up,
Yeah.
even if
Yeah.
it's not in terms of content, even if in terms of just like actual coaching.
Mhm.
I'd say for the most part, like things naturally like work themselves out. And, like,
Yeah, I can agree with that.
Yeah.
I can agree with that. Like you were saying, the powerlift now, strength now kind of
Mhm.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All
But-
that stuff is just yeah.
To that extent, though, Do you feel like there is like a set group of people that are like, okay, this is the top of the top and everyone else is below? Because I feel like we have like,
I guess you can argue that.
yeah,
Like obviously you're looking at everybody who's on that, I guess you could say panel,
hmm
and you would be like, okay, these guys are at the absolute top,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
You could argue that. But at the same time, like it's crazy to see now because it's almost like a world within a world. Like nobody, if I were to talk to other people about like powerlifting stuff, they're probably gonna be like,
yeah,
right?
for
You know what I'm
sure.
saying?
Yeah.
But to see, for example, someone like Evan just rise up, like
Yeah.
almost, it feels like it's out of nowhere, but like, I've seen him
Mhm.
around since 2021, basically. To see all that is like, oh my God. Like, it's just like, it's to see the world essentially like brighten up more and more
Yeah.
is really cool, I would say. But even with all this content and like what's missing, it's hard for me. It's hard to say because again, there is a lot of information now, and even throughout the years, like nobody's going to YouTube as much for like powerlifting information specifically,
Mhm.
but
Yeah.
there was still that whole time people still posting
Yeah.
a lot of powerlifting related information.
Yeah.
So again, I think it's because I'm used to those longer forms
Mhm.
that I can't necessarily even say like, okay, there's something missing, at least in that regard.
Yeah, I can understand that.
Content wise. I
Yeah.
would say.
I think we have so much stuff out.
There's so much.
Yeah.
stuff
Yeah.
out.
I would
It's
say
insane.
it's like obviously before that I appreciate the words obviously what
Yeah,
Peter
absolutely.
said,
Yeah,
but, I would say yeah exactly what that it's like almost just like a flood of
Mhm.
more content, quality of it may be ranged, but
Yeah.
just in terms of like pure volume of content regarding powerlifting there was compared to like 2019 2020
Yeah.
when like
Yeah.
I was at least getting first into it because I couldn't find very much. I remember that being like 16, 17 years
People
old.
gatekept it. That's literally what it is. People gatekept it.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
yeah.
Um,
And there's no chat. There was no chat back then.
No, there's
Chat
no chat
write
at
me a
all.
4-week block.
Yeah, for real, bro.
I mean, you had like Lift Vault.
I'm sorry, bro.
Lift
For real.
Vault and bodybuilding.com.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
forgot about-
lifting
What'd you
vault,
say?
man.
Bodybuilding.com?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Lifting Vault,
I forgot about
Yeah,
bodybuilding.com.
Lifting Vault was insane, actually.
Yeah.
Wow, I
That's
didn't
where
even think about that.
531
Yeah.
sons.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh man.
I say because
Oh,
people get like real time jumped for showing a program. I remember that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
True.
That is true too.
Yeah, I remember when just like showing someone else's program was like the worst thing in the world.
Yes.
It's like
Now
you
people are
don't
like,
do
"Oh,
that.
this is what I have today."
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You see it?
Dude, nah, because like I
I'm
get it,
frustrated.
like you paid for it, everything like that. But I
What's that?
remember. Oh, my fault. Yeah. Continue before I get into this.
Who,
Evan.
me? I don't know. You got it. No, you got it. Go ahead.
Oh, my fault. I was saying like, dude, like I forgot who it was. Like I've had people DM me and ask me like random questions, and then like it'll be like some random specific thing. I remember a kid asked me, he was like how I program like it was like certain accessories on like condensed lower days, so like squat and deadlift,
Yeah.
without it being like a 5-hour session. And I just went, I was like screenshotted like 3 people's program that I coached. I was like, here you go, here's some examples. It's like, dude, if you go run that kid's week 1 if you want, like that's
Yeah.
fine, I
Yeah.
guess. Like it'd be pretty stupid. Probably wouldn't work for you, but like
Well, I think like we're discovering, at least like as a whole now, that coaching is more than just a program. Because I
Yeah.
think in the past it was just like we didn't know what we were doing at all. But now it's like there's so much programs out there, there's so much free and good stuff. Where it's like, yeah, the coaching is much more than just writing this up.
Yeah.
There's like actually learning the person and understanding what works best for them.
Yeah.
You know.
There's so many conversations that happen behind like the adjustments that you
Yeah.
make on an individual day.
Mhm.
Because I can look like obviously when I first write somebody's program, like their first block, I can look at it and be like, okay, this is the thought process that I had around
Mhm.
this time, and the next block can look exactly the same for the most part, but I have more, I guess you could say more data, and then I'd be like, okay, like the way that they're approaching this secondary day might be slightly different because of XYZ that we've gone over the past month. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And that's why this, like, it's almost like you look at it and you can see it might be black and white to anybody else, but you see the color of it, I guess.
Yeah.
It's a pretty weird way for me to say it, but
No, I actually
No,
like
honestly,
that.
that was fire. That was actually
I like that.
thanks, guys. Thanks.
I was like, damn, I feel that actually.
I was gonna say, but no, like you hit the the nail on the hammer or whatever it is, hammer on the nail, whatever. It's the intention. I don't even know the expression, but it is the intention. Like, I think that's generally what it is. It's the intention, because like you can look at any program and be like, this is the most basic, bare bones, bland thing I've ever seen. And then the application of it is completely different.
Yep.
No, for sure.
What else we got on there?
So the next thing was, what frustrates you the most about the current state of powerlifting or coaching?
Ooh.
Oh,
Y'all want to go?
excited for
I
this.
went first like twice in a
No,
row.
I know you're excited for this.
Oh, I am.
so-
I am excited. I hate how I hate the when it comes to content like this cue will fix your whatever. I hate that.
Oh
I
my
think it's
God, yeah.
stupid.
Despise it.
I think it's dumb, and I hate how people they would think to kind of just almost jump into it and that they should automatically be great. I can't stand that either. Almost like
You're talking about like lifters, like jumping into the
Yes.
sport and immediately
Yes.
wanting to be good.
yeah, they're like, oh, I should already be great and stuff like. No, you shouldn't, bro.
Mhm.
There's nothing that even guarantees you that you would be great. And a lot of people stop within 3 years? I think it was the
I think
average.
the average age, it's
Yeah.
like I think the average it was like 2 meets.
They do 2 meets.
Two
yeah,
meets and that's
two
it.
meets. It's usually within like a 2 to 3 year span.
Yep.
Yeah. So
Right.
I'm and just babies. I'm not a fan. Like if you're just soft, bro, I can't stand it.
I
Like
do
I'll
it that
help
way.
you out as much as I can, but after a certain point, I'm not going to be mean about it, but we're gonna have a pretty uncomfortable conversation
Yeah,
after some point or another.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I thought you were about to get on the running thing. That's what I was.
What
like,
you
Oh,
say?
running.
Oh,
thought you
Oh
were
no,
about
no,
to
no, no! I don't
running.
mind that. I don't mind
No,
that. I don't
Running.
mind it. I just think it's funny how like all of a sudden the running got a huge surge.
Trendy.
I think it's really funny.
Honestly, hear me out. I have it pisses me off. People are afraid to care. People are afraid to admit that powerlifting is a sport, and so therefore they don't
Yep.
care, and that's why they don't grow, and therefore they shift
Yep.
off into something else. That is
I-
my
I
biggest.
I rock with that.
Yeah.
And it pisses me off every single time. People are like, "Oh, it's not this, it's not that, it's not that important." I'm like, bro, you chose to do this. It's that important. Like,
Yeah,
I'm sorry,
that's
you
fair.
changed your whole schedule. You changed your macros, your sleep schedule. You actually go to the gym now. Like, you changed so
Mhm.
much. You can't tell me that it's not important, that it's not a sport, that it's not this big thing when it objectively was, and you're only upset because you're not good yet.
Yeah.
And now you suck at running. Now you have shin splints. So I'm sorry.
Nah, you were ready to say this. This one was loaded.
Bro, yes, I'm just generally very, very sick and tired of it, because like I love sports in general. Like I've done sports forever. I've stuck with every single sport that I've ever done until that time has passed. And people are so quick to say that something is not important to them just so they aren't embarrassed that they aren't good yet.
Facts.
Oh yeah, that's
Wow,
just
that's a good
it's
point.
an excuse for yourself.
Yeah.
I
absolutely.
mean, yeah, and I mean, who likes people to make it like when people make excuse for themselves?
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
when things are
Literally
in their control.
Will
Like, that's-
bother me. It will
Yeah.
legitimately bother
Oh,
me.
no,
on a
me
call,
too.
bro.
I'd say the biggest thing, it's like frustrated. I don't really care that much about the content stuff because usually it's like just
Just
like
kinda
quick.
scroll
It's
past
quick
it.
attention grab stuff, and I
Yeah.
mean, the people who don't know any better
We'll
will
gravitate. Yeah.
gravitate towards that, and like that's fine. But it's like longer you're in it, the less you fall for that.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just like I said earlier, things will work themselves out.
Yeah.
The kind of general effort conversation is a big one, and I've talked about this a lot because it's like I've gotten a lot of people that have had like big dreams coming to like talk about it. It's like I don't know if it's just because I have a generally younger demographic, I'd say, than the rest of you. You're kind of gonna be a little more. They're gonna be a little more delusional, everything like that.
Yeah,
Talk about
yeah.
going to worlds, things like that. But it's
That
like
delusion is healthy at first.
oh, absolutely.
Oh yeah,
But
for sure. You
Yeah.
need to be a healthy delusion.
it's like the one thing I've had this conversation so many times with a bunch of people. You kind of have to have the effort in line with it.
Yeah.
Because I've had people like I coached a collegiate team. I've had people that were in like frats. Am I gonna get on them if they go and drink
Yeah.
occasionally? Like, am I gonna if I go tell a frat kid not to go like have a drink?
Saturday game.
That shit's
yeah.
not gonna happen.
Yeah.
Like, they're gonna do it
He's
anyway.
going to game day.
Yeah, it's also like, but if that same kid's talking about, I want to go to Worlds,
No,
I'm
you
gonna
don't.
tell him get a grip. Like, no, you don't.
No, you
Um,
don't.
But it's like if they're chill about it and it's
Yeah.
like they recognize, like they do whatever their goals are in powerlifting. If they're reflective of the effort they put in, I don't care which end of it. You could not care at all,
Mhm.
and your training outside variables reflect it, and you're aware of it. I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
you want to go the other end and be a world champion, but you're eating 100 grams of protein a day as a 200-pound man. Real
Gross.
numbers
Yeah.
over a conversation I've had.
That's wild.
That's crazy.
And talking about worlds.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, you kind of just get a grip. Like,
Yeah.
be real with yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
I
know,
don't even have to be real with you. Be real with yourself.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
that is not gonna fly. That's the only thing I'd say that really frustrates me is when people like. It's not even that they don't try, because a lot of people don't try, but
Yeah.
it's more just not trying and wanting perfection.
Yeah, I think that definitely falls in line to a lot of younger lifters too.
Yeah.
They just don't know themselves well
Yeah.
enough to like, this ain't me.
I
You
mean,
know?
even then, like, if you look at just that the demographic he's referring to, I'm starting specifically at like 17, 18-ish,
Mhm.
like that age range, and it's such an odd age range because when you're at that age, you almost have this weird like main character syndrome, like, and then you've experienced enough life to be smart about the few things that you fully like, or at least like, that you understand. But then beyond that, you don't have much, if any, insight on anything.
Mhm.
So like that delusion, it does make sense because it's like, this is what I know, and
Yeah.
I'm pretty good at this so far.
Mhm.
Until you kind of get like you're up against the wall with your effort up until that specific
Mhm.
That
point.
makes sense.
Yeah.
'Cause I mean,
They
I guess,
don't have the outside life.
Yeah,
enough
and
to
Yeah.
then
know how to
Because
do
right
it.
there,
that
like, the
comes
world's
in,
your
and you're like,
oyster.
oh my god, I have to try harder.
What were you saying,
What were
Evan?
I was gonna say, like, at that point, like, the world is literally just your oyster. Like, you're so
Yeah.
new to everything, like, you don't really necessarily have any like walls or limits just yet because you're a kid. You haven't experienced anything,
Yeah.
so it's like,
Yeah.
everything I've done so far, I've been fine at.
I mean,
And then there's a whole reality beyond that.
yeah, I'd say it's like at least what most of us have probably experienced. The real transition is like not even going to college; it's post college. That's when you see like people graduate, have to
Yep.
get a job, and then
Yeah.
it's like,
Oh my god.
Yeah.
oh, I have to
Yeah,
go
I'm a-
lift at 8 o'clock at night. I'm
Yep.
not doing this anymore.
Yep.
Or 5 a.m.
Or
in the
5
morning.
a.m.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
gotta figure it out.
Yeah, college.
It's like people
College.
like what Meg Scanlon.
Yeah.
Like
God.
that's
Mom and
crazy,
all that, bro.
Yeah, she got-
insane.
I think she did 5 meets last year or something.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
bro,
what?
Meg,
Yeah.
I don't
I'm
know.
good.
I don't know how she does it, bro. She's
My body would fall apart.
Our bodies are already falling apart. We ain't even competed yet.
In fact.
True.
Real.
Oh, is Evan gone?
Evan, are you still there?
I'm still here. What you mean?
Okay.
we're-
the
we're-
screen,
we're
yeah,
right
we
here.
just can't see you now, but that's fine. We can still hear you and everything.
It's fine.
Oh, he just needs to log back in.
There
We're
it is.
good.
You said I just need to
Yeah.
walk.
All right.
I
bet.
need to
else you
So
What?
like,
No,
to
you
that
Reggie had to say
Oh
his.
yeah, you
go
didn't
ahead.
say yours yet.
Did you say
Oh.
yours?
No,
Oh, no, I think you did.
honestly, I think I don't
Yeah.
have any much more. than
Oh,
what
like-
you
He
guys
kind
were
of
saying.
just said the same
Yeah,
thing.
My bad.
it is the same thing. I think that's one thing that I get really annoyed at. Like,
People being soft.
yeah, just like
I can't stand that shit. I genuinely can't stand it.
just do more stuff. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
and I think that just comes in line with we've had this conversation several times. It's like if you've never played a sport before, like powerlifting is something you can get into, and there's such a low barrier of entry. Like
Yep.
you can just get started, and if you've never played a sport, this is just gonna feel like so much. But it's like it's really not.
Bro,
It's
This
really
is
not.
It's
bro.
really not.
It's relatively easy.
Yeah.
And you know, funny enough, I was talking to. There's a dude that goes to the gym that I go to, and immediately I thought of you. Pause. My bad.
Me?
But yeah, I did.
Oh, my
Yeah,
bad.
but let me tell you why, bro. Chill, chill, chill. So he plays for the Chargers, right?
Mhm.
And he was like, I was talking to him just about like his programming and stuff because I see him like jumping around the gym and stuff. I
Yeah.
love that stuff. So I was like, oh well, like what other sports did you play before this? He's like wrestling.
Yeah.
He's like wrestling is just so much harder than anything that I had ever done. So he was like, so all this stuff is like, he's like, yeah, it's kind of hard, but it's like it's not as hard as wrestling was. So
Yeah.
I don't like,
Yeah.
I don't see anything else really as that hard.
Yeah. No, I mean that's real.
Yeah.
I wrestled through most of high school. Not as long as I wish I could have. I just didn't really get into it until like, I grew up playing baseball and then started doing that, but I like fully was done with
You know,
baseball.
I never knew you wrestled, but I always thought I'm like you just seem like a
Yeah.
wrestler.
Yeah.
Especially the massive weight cuts too. I'm just
Yeah.
like, nah,
So
this
he's just
makes
so
sense.
used to him, bro. Yeah.
It all
That's-
just like ties in.
That was my
together.
transition to powerlifting just because it was like I was done with wrestling, then I wanted to do something else. So
Mhm.
similar to pretty much everybody else. I was
Yeah.
doing a,
Just wanted to
high school
compete,
sport,
Yeah,
and I was like, damn, I'm bored.
yeah.
Like I need something to
see
do,
it.
and I was already going to the gym to get better at wrestling.
Yeah.
And I pretty quickly found out I was just probably a little bit better at that than I was at wrestling. But Yeah, I mean wrestling's hard.
Yeah.
Powerlifting's objectively easy.
I would say
It kind of like, yeah, it's like it's one of those things where it's like you don't get rewarded from just working harder and doing more
Yeah.
within reason. I mean,
Yeah, within reason.
to some
I can
extent,
agree.
yes.
Yeah.
A lot of people could do a lot more than they do.
Yeah.
And just use some excuses and fatigue, whatever.
Well,
to
I mean,
justify
going off
themselves.
of that,
But-
what do you feel like is holding a lot of lifters back?
Effort.
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 Yeah.
Effort. It's just effort.
Yeah.
Effort.
I think
Yeah.
I saw a quote not too long ago. It was like, not everyone who works hard is rewarded, but no one who's rewarded didn't work hard.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I think like that's been like stuck in my head for like I feel like I saw it a month ago, but it's been stuck in my head because like it's very true. It's like, you can work hard in the sport and you get there, like the Sam Calhoun said, the 2.5 keys, but no one gained that 2.5 keys by not trying.
Yep.
Yeah.
I will say I think we're almost in like a pendulum swing because it's like this is becoming a more commonly held opinion again,
Yes.
where it's like I think it was just like almost like getting too far onto one end of the spectrum when you're talking about pure programming, because like the big whole like less is more kind of idea
Yeah.
got really thrown around probably the last few
Yeah.
years
Mm-hmm.
to where people stop doing enough to simply get stronger.
Yeah.
Like you got to keep in mind, like people are so worried about like top end strength, fatigue, and I think people got so caught up in that like, standard like golden micro type of structure,
Mhm.
which obviously there's merit to, but I think a lot of people who don't really understand it fully got so caught up in that we were worried so much about like say showing up strong on this like week 4 or whatever,
Mhm.
certain things like that, like top end strength year round. And not as much like periodization, I'd say. That's like
Yeah.
people forget you kind of have to try.
Yeah.
You kind of have to like get strong, and that's going to carry some fatigue, whatever. And it's like this,
I mean, frankly, I'd argue like this is the most important part. Like, you can be
Yeah.
an idiot and just push yourself as hard as
Bro,
possible
I've
with dumb
seen-
programming. And
I've
become
seen
incredibly strong.
idiots
Yeah.
like just
Yep.
go hard, just go harder than somebody else who's like, being as meticulous as they could possibly
Yeah.
be. He just
Yeah.
tried harder than you, dog.
Yeah.
Like
Yep.
simply
Exactly.
put,
No,
like
absolutely.
sorry to put it that way, but it
Yeah.
is what it is.
And I think
Just
like
kind of
if
talking
you
about like my fault.
It's like if you did want to get like technical with it for people, I think that the biggest thing that people just forget to understand is strength building versus strength expression, and that there's just
Yes.
2 seasons. There's literally just 2 seasons.
Yeah.
You work really, really hard. That's your strength building. You fight for your life. You do the hard things, or what people consider the hard things, and then you express your strength in a little bit. That's it.
Yeah.
That's as simple as it is. But like, you don't even get to express anything if you don't just work really, really hard. Like, that's it. Like, just pick up. What did that guy say? Everyone want to get big, but don't want to lift some heavy ass weight.
Ronnie
That's it.
Coleman.
Yeah, Ronnie
Yeah,
Coleman.
Ronnie
Coleman.
One
yeah.
of the ones.
Man said that ages
Oh,
ago.
no
One of the
one
ones.
Don't no one want to lift
Yeah.
some heavy ass weight, bro.
Yeah.
Like, why
Yeah.
are we afraid of my fatigue on my week 3 triple, bro? If you don't just get in there and do your triple,
Yeah, bro. Some people are like, when they bring up something like that, are like, "Oh yeah, like this just felt really heavy." It's like, yeah, this is the top end of what you're capable of.
Yeah.
What do you mean? Like,
But
why are
it's
you
also-
telling me this? Like,
Yeah. But it's
This-
also like
it's normal.
Yeah, that and it's also like purely counterproductive because it's like you'll see a lot of people where it's like, oh, I kind of like really sandbagged, like say they have like some accessories. It depends on the purpose of everything.
of
That's why
course.
I
Yeah,
explain
yeah.
everything's important. But it's like you'll see people be like, oh, I got a big squat Friday. Let me just not try on any accessories on like the secondary leading into
Yeah.
it. And they show up flat and weaker.
Yeah.
Like it's like
Mhm.
trying harder half the time also carries top
Yeah.
end harder anyway. It's just
Yeah,
people
yeah.
don't really get a good grasp of that most of the time.
Yeah.
But what I was saying before is like I think it's a pendulum swing because I think even like myself when I was like earlier on into everything, kind of fed into that the same way where it's like I think people are swinging back to like the more you'll see like people like starting to get recently more caught up in like really crazy frequencies, things like that, like finding ways to do more. And that was kind of what I was gonna talk about, and like once we do the actual seminar is like
Yeah.
how to actually do more and
Yeah.
like what that actually means. Because I think a lot of people don't understand that and understand the actual application of it.
Yeah.
But I think in general, as like a culture, at least what I've seen talking to other coaches and like talking to people, it's like we're almost getting away from that. Because like yes, less is more. You don't need to do crazy amounts of workload, things like that most of the time. You can get away with doing less, But it's almost like, are we trying so hard to get away with doing less that we're not doing anything that generates
Yeah.
a stimulus?
Yeah.
It's like you gotta find, I don't want to say a middle ground, but like
There's a balance.
there's
though.
a balance,
There's a push and
yes.
pull, and
And
it
there's-
depends on
that's
what you're actually.
Mhm.
Go ahead, man.
Well, I was gonna say like you said that balance, like because here's the thing, like if your heavy intensities and your heavy loads are from your compounds, you're probably not going to get as much as you want on your accessory work. But also
Yeah.
there's that flip of it, and that's how you find that balance. But people have literally done one or the other, or just
Yes.
neither, to be like less is more. And I'm like, well, yeah, like I'd like to use Jamar as an example because he's a freak of nature. He
is.
squats 800 pounds at 93. He doesn't actually have as much squat volume as people would think because he squats 800 pounds
Yeah.
at 93. So therefore the rest of it is like he pushes on like a power squat or pushes off to, some other leg thing, because it's like there's only so many barbell squats he can do, but he needs
Yep.
those to stay under stimulus. But
Yeah.
someone like, I'll say me, who's coming from an injury, I only can do so many barbell squats, but I leg press 3 times a week, or pendulum squat or belt squat or power squat three to 4 times a week, because I have less barbell work that I could maintain. So I think people are just missing that if one is lessened, the other one has to be more. If one is more, the other one has to be lessened.
Yeah,
'Cause
you
it's
can't
it's
just
really-
like get away with not doing stuff. You can't just
Yeah.
get away with just like pulling back so much.
It's just constantly like dimming or turning up knobs.
Yeah,
Like what's
absolutely.
realistically. I think that I'm not a huge fan of that, like less is more. Less is only more if like you're doing too much anyway. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
but like
and honestly,
in a lot of situations you should do more. If you can handle more, do more.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I don't really understand why people would kind of conflate the two, or even like take a message and be like, oh, this is the end all be all. Like less is more, or like completely more is more, when it's
Mhm.
dependent on like what needs to happen
yeah.
at the end of the day. You
Yeah,
know what I
and
mean? For
honestly,
that
like,
person.
something I learned from Marcellus, God, when I first initially met him, I think this was like 2022 winter record in Virginia. I think that's the first time I met him. Something like that. And the whole conversation we talked about was just recoverability. That's literally the actual answer to all of it. It's just like you said, you don't necessarily need less. It's really, can you recover from what you already have?
Yeah.
And if you can, you can do more. If you can't, either A, recover better, address some of your externals, or B, now we can take a little bit off the top.
Mm-hmm.
yeah. I
But-
think that falls in line with like what the maximum recovery volume and the like minimum effective volume,
Yeah.
right? Like you
Yeah.
have to be somewhere in the middle of that, where like you're doing enough to where you're not destroying your body, but you're doing enough to where you can progress, but not doing too much to where you're not destroying your body.
Yep.
And there's a
Yes.
middle ground in between there, and we're just trying to gradually increase that ceiling more and more. Because at some point, you have to do more.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
there's just
You can't get
no-
away with doing the least.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Least amount of
There's
Your
work.
just no
fitness has
ifs,
to get
ands, or buts.
better. You have your capacity has to get better. You gotta bring up the floor to meet the ceiling at some point.
Mhm.
Yeah. So speaking of this, what's something else that's popular right now that you like hard disagree on?
Oh, hard disagree. Damn.
Yeah.
Think about that one.
I would have to say the kind of like the less is more stuff. You know what I mean? Or just kind of really leaning into for me, like sometimes I'll see people be like squat and then, for example, like 2 sets of like an exercise sometimes. It depends. Obviously it depends. But like I've seen that a lot where it would just be 2 sets. And keep in mind, it's not even like a hard, like it'll be like RP like 6 to 7 on a specific exercise, on like a leg press or something.
Mhm.
Which, given a specific reason for it, then maybe. But like I've seen that fleshed out. You know what I mean? Like, oh yeah, we're not pushing this leg press at all because you squatted before. Why not? What are we talking
Yeah.
about? You know what I mean? 2 sets, like that's all we're gonna get with the RP 6 to 7.
Yeah.
Like, what are we doing? You know what I mean? So I would argue that at least right now. That's just off the top of my head though.
Anyone else?
Nothing other than the kind of what we already talked about that really stands out.
Yeah.
That I can think of that like I at least see commonly.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. I feel like there's something I saw that pissed me off not so long ago. If I think of it, I'll come back to it. I know there's something.
Mhm.
Honestly, I just wanted to see where you guys were at.
If there's anything that stood
Yeah,
out.
anything that stood out. Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I can't really say that there's a lot besides like what I mentioned, but that's kind of like a throwaway. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? It's like I can't really.
Fair.
I mean, I guess you could say like just clickbait content. I've always hated that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've always personally hated that, but yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I can agree with that.
Yeah.
I think like it's just people gotta get paid. You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah, I can't be mad at that though. Yeah,
Fact.
if they're saying like, "Oh, I'm trying to support my kid," I'm like, never
Yeah.
mind. Can I really even hate that now?
Yeah, exactly. 'Cause I mean, I think I'm definitely a huge fan of the more long form
Long form,
content.
yeah,
'Cause I feel like I can get a lot more out of that, and I think everyone here.
The
is
sad
very
part is
similar.
it
It's
just
like-
doesn't get the same attention.
Yeah,
Which is
absolutely.
just how it is.
Yeah.
And that's always gonna
Social
be how
media.
it is.
TikTok
Yeah.
ruined us.
Honestly,
TikTok
I got it.
ruined everything.
I remember what I hate.
Go
I
ahead.
hate hyper-specific technique people. Hate it. Sorry, Evan.
Wait,
I hate it.
no. Like, wait,
Alright,
Hear me out.
go
Hear
on.
me out. Hear me out.
no.
Hear me out. No, hear me out.
In what way?
This
Elaborate.
this
I
kinda
was
go-
like,
this
wait,
kinda-
no, not,
There it is.
not
See,
here.
This is
Not
this is
here,
where I
bro.
was wanting.
What are you
This is
saying?
where I was
No,
wanting.
Hear me out. Hear me out. Hear me out.
I mean,
hear
what
me
you
out.
mean?
What
What you
you
mean?
This literally goes in. This goes into the clickbait shit. This goes into clickbait stuff. I think that too many people are trying to find the golden. I saw someone talking about grip strength and it's like, why don't you just hook grip, mix grip? Like, bro, why don't you just
What?
yes,
People
yes,
said that?
that is. I forgot where I saw it, but people are talking about like hook gripping their mixed grip. They're like, oh, you don't like regular hook grip, you like mixed grip. Why like hook grip, mixed grip fix my deadlift? I'm like, bro, just hold on to the bar. I'm sorry. Like
Yeah.
small niche, or like everyone trying to. I've recently seen another wave of like the upper torso sumo deadlift where everyone's trying to be vertical again. Like I very much disagree with going too far in extremes, saying that it's fixing lifts when it's honestly putting people in much worse positions.
Yeah. I have a story about the mixed hook one.
See, someone heard about it. You know about it. See,
Renee,
it's a group-
I'm name dropping. I hope I'm not even gonna tell him to watch this. I hope he just like because he probably would come and watch this. I'm not even gonna tell him I'm mentioning him in this. I hope he just finds this organically. I saw that reel come up and then he sent me training like an hour later. He normally pulls mixed and he started pulling mixed hook and I was like, can we? I actually think I got mad. I think I actually think I sent him like 5 minutes
Ever send
because
me
it was
anything
like
that again.
no, because it was like it was one of those times where he was just like I don't want to say he was tweaking, but like he was just like changing things every 5 seconds just for fun, and we were like 5 weeks out.
Oh,
from open
no.
mats or
yeah,
something.
yeah.
I was like, what the fuck are we doing? Like grip it normally. It wasn't even a good. The pull looked bad. Like it looked worse.
Yeah.
And it was like oh my I think that was one of the recent times where I actually was like
Tweaked out.
kind
You're
of
like, I'm
annoyed
pissed.
at a
Yeah.
lifter because I'm like, what are we doing? But yeah.
What was the thought process there?
I don't remember.
I think it's just like they say that hook is just more secure. So like
Yep.
now you're going mixed
So
and
it's
then
like super
which is
secure.
also like
Yeah.
which is really secure. You know what I mean? Like I don't know.
You know that
exactly.
really
Now
good,
you understand why I said it. Now you see why I said it.
you know that really good Russian 74.
Ooh, why not?
You might
What's
deadlifts and knee sleeves,
I'd have to
squats wide, heels straight toe.
Oh, I think I know. What you're
Yeah,
talking
you know what I'm
about.
talking
Okay.
about. I believe his name was like Ilya something.
Okay.
Like
yeah.
Marichev or something. I don't know.
Okay,
I
yeah.
could be completely butchering that. I'm sorry. He pulls mixed hook. And he
Oh
pulled-
my
Disgusting.
He
God.
pulled. I think he
One of a
recently-
million, bro.
I
Don't
think
even
he
worry
recently
about it.
pulled like 350 at 70.
Oh,
Yeah,
see,
it's
and that's
wild.
fire though. I can't even be mad
Yeah,
at that.
it's
like
Like
people about to
he's
do it,
better than
though.
us. So
Yeah.
That's why people are gonna do it.
but yeah.
After
I don't
this,
know.
everyone's
and then there was
pulling-
that reel.
Everyone's pulling mixed hook.
Do not
Bro,
pull mixed
please,
hook,
for the love of God. If I
Please
see,
don't pull mixed
I'm saying
hook.
this now. If I see any of my clients pulling mixed hook, I'm dropping you.
Nah, the hyper specific technique thing is real, and I've had to, talk to people about that because everyone thinks just because I'm me, I should tell everyone to
like to bench
max
like
grip,
yeah.
whatever. Crazy looking bench. No, just bench like a normal person. You'll probably bench more. The amount of times I've sent voice messages that straight up said, "Stop trying to be me."
That's funny.
Dude, I've had that conversation
not
so
that
many
guy.
times. Usually with like the younger guys.
I would
They'll,
imagine.
Like,
Yeah.
try to mimic it, but dude, like I'm like 5'6.5". I got like a 5'5" wingspan. Like I've never done a stretch in my life to arch like that, anything like that. Like I can just kind of do that. Don't try to copy me; it won't work, kind of thing. Like I've had a lot of newer lifters where it's just like you'll lift like a normal person, just try to get jacked. You'll
Yeah.
probably do pretty good
Yeah.
than if
Yeah.
you were to, try to technique max
I
your
mean, I
way
think
into a good
that was the big
technique.
Technique
thing
max.
over our
There it
first
is.
workshop
Cause,
is like just get stronger,
Yeah,
just
yeah,
get bigger, and that
because
fixes a lot of the issues there.
honestly.
at the end of the day, like your technique is going to get better over time, anyways. But like
Yeah.
one thing that you can always do is just be stronger.
Yeah,
Facts.
yeah,
You figure out how you move over time. Half of it's just practice.
yeah. A lot of it's just like auto-regulating, just
Yeah.
like figuring your body out, your mechanics
Yeah.
out. So, what's one thing you guys wish you knew earlier?
Y'all can start. I got to think.
How to bench. I suck at bench. I wish I wish I hate to say it, like I wish I learned how to bench better before where I am at now. Like I struggle with bench like for a very, very long time. The amount of time it took me to bench like 145 was too long.
Yeah.
But again,
Yeah,
everyone hates everything, so
I feel the same way with squatting. Like that was me with squatting because
Squatting?
I squatted like general football player style squat, and it was like
Chest
box
up.
squat, chest up, and
Eyes up.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So it took me a while to like just develop a decent squat pattern, and like all my other lifts were fine. I benched what's that? I benched 400 before I squatted 5.
I
Right?
hate
Really?
you.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
despise
wow.
you
Yeah,
actually.
I
I
benched
did that.
405
That's crazy.
before I squatted.
You
Before
pissed
I
me
squatted
off.
500.
You doing that is crazy.
Yeah,
You
Me
pissed
doing
me
that
off
back
crazy,
then
bro.
made sense.
So it was just wild. I remember like in my first comp, my bench and my squat were not that far apart. And I was so
Wow.
upset with it.
Yeah,
I
That
that's
was
pissed
gotta
like
me
looking
off.
at it like, this is stupid. This is dumb.
Man.
So that's something that I wish I like seeked out for rather than like I'm just gonna figure this out. I wish I tried to develop that.
Go ahead.
For me, I mean, there's a few things. At least like up front, like just trying harder a little earlier on.
Mhm.
There's a few things. I mean, the thing we'd all probably say is just like knowing the movement patterns or what things that were
Mhm.
going to get us all
Yeah.
hurt before
Mhm.
they happened. 'Cause
Yeah.
that's
I didn't
that's
wanna
like that's a hindsight 2020
That's
thing.
literally, I didn't want to jump into that. So I was like, let me think of
Yeah,
something
because
else.
like,
Yeah.
dude, I mean, I've had my fair share of injuries that are a lot of those things were resulted from not even powerlifting. Like some knee stuff from wrestling made me kind of shift into my left leg squatting when I was
Yeah.
first learning how to squat. I mean, did I realize that was an issue? No. One of those things where it's like I don't even consider that something to mention, but like just trying harder. You know, a little bit more. I mean, I've always been like lighter weight, whatever, but probably growing a little bit earlier. I mean, I probably
Facts.
would have
I
not
can
been a
agree with that.
66 by now.
Yeah.
I probably would have been a little heavier by now at this point, but it's like, so things might have worked out in my favor. But yeah, I'd say just general, like at least compared to what I tell earlier lifters now, is just focus on growing. Don't worry about being like super specific, like the very general things, like things
Yeah.
you've heard from everyone. Like there's a reason everyone says that. Don't get hyper specific. Don't try to, be some extreme in terms of technique, lift like a normal person. You're probably not an outlier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Try.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would personally say the thing that I would probably want to have learned sooner is like, again, you're not an outlier, but that mainly having to do with externals, like just locking in the externals, especially when I was younger, because like to a certain degree, again, like you're looking at that age range of like I guess you could argue like 18 to maybe like 20, about getting like breaking out of junior, basically,
Yeah.
where you're just like, oh, bro, I'm fine. I can have 5 hours of sleep
Yeah.
and one meal in a
Yep.
day and like 3 energy drinks, and I'll
Yeah.
be good. You know what I'm saying? And you'll be good for a little bit until you're not.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I would say that it's not that I broke out of that like recently by any means, but at the same time, like I feel like had I taken that a lot sooner earlier on, it could have taken things a lot further, I would say.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
So, I mean, that brings me to my next thing. I was going to say, what do you feel like is the most underrated aspect of training? We can't say effort.
Yeah.
But 'cause I think personally, outside of that, it's going to be the nutritional aspect and
Yeah.
managing externals.
Mhm.
I think, especially at that time when I was lifting, I was just like bumping my head against the wall. I was just like, I'm going to
Yeah.
figure this out and just doing whatever
Yeah.
rather than like just being smart about like my training, handling my sleep, especially like being younger, like, well, I got class, I got work, I got to lift, whatever. I was just lift at whatever
Show
time,
up,
you know.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm just gonna do it.
Yeah.
So, what do you guys feel is underrated aspect of?
I would go right back to the externals, bro.
Yeah.
Honestly, because
Yeah.
like I mean, I'm not one to like stress out over a bunch, like in general. So that just is what it is. So I guess stress management is kind of taken care of, but managing everything else, and um, yeah, I think personally that would just be it for me. I don't really think that there's much of anything that I could really expound on there because you'll only realize like how bad things are when it comes to something like that and not having the externals dialed in when you're in a situation where had you had everything in line, you would have performed better.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You don't want to make a fucking cope post afterwards.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like
Real. One that's like, I guess not as obvious, still fairly obvious, but like something that's like not just the ones everyone already knows, like sleep, nutrition, whatever. It's been talked about plenty, but like nutrition quality also is something that
true.
people need to think about earlier on. And I got to tell this story because it's hilarious. Jordan, I'm sorry. You know what story I'm about to tell.
go ahead, let's hear it.
Dude, Jordan, he works long shifts. He works at a hospital, whatever. And yeah, and he was in school. Like he had a lot going on. So he didn't always want to cook, everything like that. Nowadays, I gotta preface this before I kind of shit on him for a little bit. He's locked in. He works with Tanner Newman.
Nice.
His nutrition's locked in. He's good, everything like that. But there was a time in his prep for Ron Nats 2025. It might have been 2024. I don't remember. Which one was the one he missed weight? Is that 2024? I think it was
I think it's
2024.
2024. Yep.
And he didn't tell me this until like the day of the meet. I might be the funniest thing I've ever heard in my life. He was like low on protein. Like he wasn't really eating protein like that. So like after long shifts, everything, he wasn't gonna cook or he just tired. Understandable. But he would drive to McDonald's.
Solid.
And he was like, "Oh, I can't go too crazy on like calories and everything because I got to make weight." He'd order 10 patties, no bun.
Oh my God,
10,
no bun.
10 McDonald's patties. I don't know if he put cheese. He could reply.
Nasty orders, bro.
10
Nasty
patties
order, bro.
From McDonald's, just the patty, which apparently is only like $2 or something. Which do what you gotta do.
That's not bad though. Honestly, I'm like, hey. Hold on.
10 patties, and then he'd just eat that shit straight.
That's
crazy.
disgusting.
And then he told me
Crazy.
this like an hour before he missed weight. He like barely missed weight too, but I think that still is the funniest thing a lifter's ever
Oh my
told me.
God.
Because I was like I was in my head. I'm like, how
Did
do
you
you
have a
even-
straight face?
Yeah, he was dead serious. He didn't
See?
even think it was.
Alright,
He
bro.
didn't see why that was funny. But I was just in my head. I'm just thinking of like, how do you come up with that? Like,
Yeah.
what makes you think that that's an option?
Yeah.
Like, I didn't even know you could do that. That's not on the menu.
Oh,
But,
bro.
I bet they're
yeah,
just as confused as you were.
yeah, and I think that's like, if we're talking about like the biggest thing that made him like, I don't want to say
Such
blow
a
up,
funny dude.
but like really like take a jump in his total since like junior worlds.
Yeah.
Is that
Mhm.
because that's when he started. He was like good for the most part in like
Yeah.
junior worlds prep. Like he got way better into that like junior nats, junior worlds run, but after worlds is when he really like locked in, and you could see. I mean, he went from
I mean, he just looked bigger,
860
bro.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the same, and he was
Massive.
lighter.
Yeah.
Lighter than he was at
God.
junior worlds. He cut less. He cut from like 220 for junior worlds. It was like 217 or something. It's
Yeah.
big as hell.
Yeah, he is massive, bro. He's a big ass dude.
But yeah, now he just hit the 840 kilo triples block. Looked like he could have already beat his Nats total, and he weighs like 209.
That's crazy.
So it's like, I don't want to say that was his limiting factor because he made training changes as well. So like
Yeah.
combination, obviously, but I mean, a lot of people where it's like don't feed too hard into the if it fits your macros kind of thing.
Yeah, don't do that.
No, for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
Get away from that.
I feel like that's like younger lifters or like people with like a lot of life circumstances where it's like some people work crazy hours, stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's like,
Like I'm
Yeah,
gonna get
that-
a honey bun and I'm
literally,
yeah,
you know,
that
it's
might be
like-
holding you back more than you think.
What
You
are
know?
we doing?
It's
And
literally
so,
a worst case scenario thing, bro. Like if you can manage to get in quality food over something else, but it takes a little bit more effort, just make the effort.
But I think
Yeah.
a lot of that is just like just managing yourself better. You know,
Yeah.
it's like
I can agree with that.
making
Yeah,
your
within
food
reason, of
earlier.
course.
Get a rice cooker,
Yeah.
bro. Rice
Exactly.
cooker and
Hell
ground
yeah.
beef,
Rice
dog.
cooker will
Like,
save you.
Solid.
don't
Y'all,
make your life
y'all
that much
seen
harder.
the Zojirushi rice cookers?
Yeah, yeah.
Ooh.
You put anything in
What's
those
that?
things.
Fire. See, I knew you would
Man,
know.
don't tell me
You
that.
like
I'm gonna
anime
order it
too
right
much to
now,
not
bro.
know.
My phone up there. Damn. Like,
Yeah.
It's a rice cooker. It keeps the rice hot for like
Mhm.
7 days.
We have
What?
one.
Yeah.
We have one of those too.
Yeah,
I don't know the
fire.
name of it, but
7
It is
days?
fire.
yeah,
Yes.
Bro, I just made it this morning before
I
I
have
went
one
here.
too, but a different brand. It's fire.
Yeah.
But
You just
yeah.
like press it open after work, get some rice. Like I'll make some like ground
Mhm.
beef or something just to eat
Yeah.
with it.
Yeah, and just
Fire.
throw it in there.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's fire.
Yes,
So
I
good.
like that a lot.
To this
Yeah.
day, though, 10 McDonald's patties is
That's wild.
legendary.
That's
That's
You should buy him
I don't-
10 McDonald's patties one day, just as a gift.
dude. Yeah, I honestly think that might
He's
be
a
to
funny
this day,
dude,
the
bro.
funniest thing I've ever heard. It's
He's
funny
probably-
after the fact, because in the moment when he missed weight,
You're like, I'm
I
gonna
was
kill you.
I was
That
about
was
to
the first
kill
thing
him
you were thinking
because
about.
he would have
too.
won so easily that round.
Yeah, no, I do remember that too.
Yeah.
That was Utah.
Oh,
was
true.
Utah.
Was that Utah?
I
That
don't
was
think it
Utah.
was Utah.
That was
was
Utah.
it?
That was
Yeah,
Utah.
it was
Yeah,
Utah.
he was
That's
guest
true.
Utah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Oh my
true.
God,
Because it was
yeah.
Josh.
Oh,
Hall
I
who won?
remember
No, it
that.
was Dan Howell.
Yeah.
Dan Howell. That's what it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was Dan Howell. Okay.
Yeah. Oh man, I was disappointed for you. I remember.
Yeah, I
being
remember
there,
that
too.
and
He
I
was
was like,
cooking.
I
what
wanted-
happened?
I
He was
wanted
going
to
so
cry.
crazy, bro.
So upset.
because I was handling the morning session, so I didn't really know like he was supposed to, get his weight.
Yeah, he was supposed to go to the
situation
sauna,
settled.
right?
Yeah, and then he
Yeah.
went in like 3 hours after I told him to.
Yeah.
Jordan, I'm not hating. I promise. It's funny now,
Yeah.
like after the
We
fact.
still love you, bro.
Yes, you won worlds. It's okay.
Yeah, facts.
But
Facts.
True. Made up for it.
yeah. 10 McDonald's patties.
That's
crazy.
That's heinous, bro. That's honestly
No
heinous.
bun.
Nasty, bro.
I don't know if this is
Nasty,
true. I don't know if
nasty.
this is true, but I'm gonna believe you didn't get a drink either. Like just raw dog.
Oh man.
Bro, just imagine he folding the patties in half. He just folding it in half, biting into it, bro. Sicko.
Oh,
Someone's
man.
gonna listen to
man.
this so upset.
God, the thing is, just don't tell him. Just hope he listens to it. And finds it organic.
Oh,
I love
God.
you,
Wait
Jordan.
till the end to
Yeah.
hear all this.
Oh, bro. I do love you, Jordan, bro.
I
You're
love you.
you're funny, bro.
That's just vicious.
All right. So last thing I got for y'all, we'll cap this off. What do you guys want people to get out of these workshops?
Just I mean, this full circle. I guess you could argue we're all being pretty simplistic here, but full circle. I like talking about this stuff. So if anybody comes around afterwards is like, "Oh, you helped me with, I guess a concept and how do I go about programming or something like that," that makes my day.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like just something like that.
Absolutely. Like I mean, I got even the simple like video about like basic leg drive that the
Yeah.
account posted that Reggie posted. Dude, I had like 5 people DM me and saying that like helped.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, okay. I didn't think that was crazy or anything, but like fair. Like
Yeah.
I'm glad. It's also like easier. Like I don't know personally myself. If you get me just sitting in front of a camera alone, it's gonna be either the most like awkward thing you've ever heard, or it's like nothing I'm saying is gonna make sense. Like I'm gonna ramble.
Yeah. Oh, that makes two
Like
of us.
it's so much easier to at least like get things out and understand like a digestible manner in like a conversation type of
For sure.
standpoint. Which is kind of what I said at the start.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think at least like being able for, I guess if we like post this and like get questions, I mean, being able to kind of just like whatever things people want to know, at
Mhm.
least give my opinion or at least whatever they ask, anything like that, like at least have a platform to do it on, where I could actually do it effectively.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
feel that.
Solid. Black Evan.
I mean, honestly, yeah, same thing as them. It's just like I want people to like step away from this more confident in themselves as either a lifter or as a coach or just more equipped. Frankly, like that's the easiest way I can put it. Just feel more equipped.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, I would agree with that too. I think my biggest thing is so people can feel more confident in themselves, right?
Mhm.
And I really enjoy the fact that like people get something out of this. I remember after we did the first one, I saw like 2 reels from people that were there that spoke about topics that we spoke about. I'm like, that's dope.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
learned That was
Yeah.
kind of cool, you know.
Yeah.
So I really appreciate that and just seeing people get better. You know, like I think this has kind of moved away from like gatekeeping thing.
Mhm.
So like, man, I just want to see you do good. You
I,
know?
I just want to
wanna
talk
see you
about
do
it, to be
well.
honest with you. I
Yeah.
just want to talk about it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
I'm gonna say I got my whole degree in this. I love talking about shit like this.
Yeah. And if you take something and run with it, and like at some point, I know that at some point we contributed to your success, bro, I'm happy.
Yeah, I was
You
gonna
know?
say to know, like, to a certain degree you had a hand in it
Yeah.
is always cool.
Yeah, I'll
Yeah.
take that. So that's my biggest thing. I just want people to get better in some sort of capacity. So that's always been my thing, and bringing people that are like-minded together has always been what I'm interested in too. So if you get anything out of that, like that's what I want from it.
Yeah.
But outside of that, I think we'll call it a day for episode 1 of our podcast. Um, if you guys have any questions, please let us know. I'll looking forward to hearing from it. You guys have anything else?
Yeah. And if there's anything y'all want to hear us talk about whenever we do this again, I definitely want to hear that. I mean, obviously this one was pretty general,
Yeah.
like state of powerlifting, like, more background on us type of thing. But if there's like even things programming wise or at least more specific, like literally anything, I would say like ask any of us and just give us ideas or things you're interested in. I feel like that's important.
Yeah, for sure. I'll try to these next couple of ones will keep more topics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely wanted to have an introductory podcast initially, so you guys can kind of get to know who we are. But yeah, if there's anything at all, please let us know and we'll talk about it.
Cool. All right, y'all. Cool.